Welcome back to the Tech Shack podcast where we discuss tech news and latest leaks and rumors. So today is episode 3. Wow, we've actually come a long way, and I thank you for all the support and the suggestions I've been receiving. And let's start the show. Okay guys, so we have 3 to 4 topics to cover for today. One is regarding the new Star Wars High Republic series that I've released, and also regarding Oppo's new phone that's gonna come out, and some interesting Sony news and Apple news. So let's start off with the Apple news. Apparently right now there's a new iOS 14 software running on the iPhone 11 Pro. So there's this video been circulating on the means of Reddit where this person is allegedly using iOS 14 on the iPhone 11 Pro, and he's actually showing the multitasking, how it looks exactly. It looks very similar to the MIUI multitasking thing, if you know what I'm saying. It's just basically, in the iOS 13, from iOS 7, I don't think I've seen a big change in the iOS system, because from 6 to 7, for people who are upgrading from iOS 6 to 7, that was when I got the first iPad for myself. When software upgraded to 7, it was different. Like 6 had all this boring, 2D like textures, and it was very blurry and all that. But when you moved on to iOS 7, it looked amazing. There was if you've seen Windows 7 and Windows XP, you can see that Windows 7 looks more airy, there's a sort of depth of field to the desktop. That's why I adore iOS 7 and Windows 7. 7s were the best things, to be honest. In the version of Android, it changes every year, but from 9 to 10, I didn't see much of a change. I did see dark mode, but I haven't tested it out. I did try out One UI 2.0 on my sister's phone, and it was pretty good. Samsung has come a long way from when I had the S7 Edge. The TouchWiz Home was awful, to be honest. And when I got the S7 right before the S8 release, I couldn't wait, so I just bought the S7, and then I figured I could have just waited another, 5 to 10 minutes, not 5 to 10 minutes, but like a week or two, and get a better phone, and it did hurt a little bit, but that was when they got something called as a Samsung Experience Home, which looked amazing, to be honest. You could swipe to get to the home screen, the app screen, in Samsung you have a separate apps section rather than like in MIUI or the iPhone, where your home screen itself has the apps and it houses the apps. So it looked different, and it was amazing to see such an upgrade, and I had to flash some ROM to it. So regarding this iOS 14 update, everyone believes that it was a jailbroken iPhone. I do believe that as well, because if you see the newly designed multitasking area layout, it kind of looks similar to the jailbreak in like a tweak, and it also shows the thumbnail in tiles and rows instead of iOS 13 stacked, the carousel where you could get like a bunch of cards. That's how it looked. And the graphic designer and Apple enthusiast, basically he talked about the internal app switcher settings, which have changed a lot. We can expect an official update regarding the iOS 14 in its WWDC 2020 event, where Apple will apparently release its new budget iPhone. So I'm actually looking forward to the event. Now regarding Oppo's newly, just found on the means of news, it's a new product basically, and it's known as the Oppo Find X2. and it's showcasing a 120Hz refresh screen with a 3K display. Okay, now I think more than a 1080, we do use a lot of 1080 content, but more than 1440p on an iPhone or a phone actually is useless, to be honest. When it comes to HDR10 on the iPhone 11 Pro that I've seen, actually there's a lot of difference between my TV and this, because this HDR is really good and I love it, to be honest. Watching content like Netflix where Dolby Vision is there is really good for certain content. And like I was watching Altered Carbon season 1 the other day, the blacks were really deep, and the panel is really good. I mean, I'm not sure how color accurate it was, but regarding we don't look into color accuracy and all that. As consumers just try to see how good it looks on a display. We don't look at this has 99% sRGB on Adobe, because we're all laymen. In layman's terms, we just look at how good it looks and how crisp it looks. We don't look after is it 4K, is it streaming in 1080p? We just see what exactly is happening. And for people like me who love 4K or more than 1080p, being an enthusiast of 4K, because I do love 4K gaming. When I played God of War, or when you play like Last of Us, or you play like Spider-Man, you can really see the HDR content, and you can see the blacks and the rich colors that come out. Like, even to layman's terms, it looks amazing, to be honest. It looks so real. When you're playing 4K and you switch to 1080p, you notice the difference immediately. But a 3K display on a phone doesn't really make sense. Now, even the S20 came out with a 120Hz display. Apparently, they did say 120Hz in the launch event, but when people started using it, they found out that if you want to enable 120Hz, you'll have to see to it that it's on a 1080p resolution. So for people who want to sacrifice a solution for a faster refresh rate, sure, you can do that. But the problem with phones is that they're not that big. Okay, now the S20 Ultra might be 6.7 inches, 6.5 inches, or something like that, something along the lines of that. But no one really cares about the refresh rate. When you look at 1690, 120, on a phone, I don't think many people will notice it. Only for people who are looking specifically at that feature, yes, it might be useful for them. But there's no sort of, even in gaming, we don't need, in a phone, I don't think we need more than 60 Hz, because none of the games run more than 60 Hz. Sure, like Fortnite can run, but I'm not sure about that, and it's just a waste of, it's like a gimmick. It's like when Pixel released its radar features, which didn't come to India, surprisingly, because it prohibited some laws of India or something, and it didn't allow it to come. And even though the Pixel 4 came with the price of 1 lakh, which is about, a lot of dollars, more than $1,500, the problem came to it that why would we pay 1 lakh to a phone that literally has no features? It is exactly the same as the Pixel 3 if you remove the radar features and the alleged, the telephoto camera, which wasn't that good, to be honest. So Oppo's Find X2 will have 120Hz refresh rate, 3K display. 3K, how does it exactly mean? Because when you use a 2K display, it's stretched out in such a way that it's like 2080 cross 1440 or something like that. So that's technically 1440p, and it also is totally different compared to all these 4K displays, because it's stretched in a different aspect ratio compared to the 16:9 or 4:3. I've never seen a phone in 4:3 ratio. I would love to see it sometime soon. Nowadays we use the aspect ratio of 16:10 or 21:9 or something like that, and it I mean, it works for so far. And people complain about the notch on the iPhone, and it's like, oh, so old. But I don't notice a difference, because when you're viewing content, you just don't look at the notch, and it doesn't make much of a difference. Now today, PlayStation Germany also tweeted out by saying that what we're gonna tell you today, don't you? And people got excited. I mean, today is the day where they release the PlayStation Plus games, but also the PS5. People are also suspecting that there might be some sort of detail regarding the PS5 that could be released today. I personally don't think so, because anything that this company is currently doing, Microsoft is just giving out the details, so we don't have to worry about that. But Sony is kept quiet, and every time they release a sort of tweet that kind of sounds, suspectful, everyone takes it to the Twitter and goes, oh, like they're releasing a new PS5. I mean, they are, but then they said they'll give the details sooner. I mean, they wanted to release it in February when everyone wants it. Even I technically wanted to hear about it, because right now I don't think I have a sort of reason to buy the PS5. Because the problem with consoles is that when you buy a console in its early ages, like as soon as it releases, you get only 2 to 3 games to try out. I mean, sure, 2 to 3 games is a lot, but for a completionist who finishes it fast and within this given time, like I can finish a specific big game which takes about 60 to 80 hours in about 40 to 50 hours, and a person who's dedicated to doing that, I don't think so. In like 2 games that they release, sure, it will be backwards compatible, that's what they're saying. But the problem is that when you have some of these games, I don't think, like one or 2 games, I don't think you'd like to have a reason to buy the PS5. Right now I'm not planning, because I have my exams coming up in the Jan of 2021, and I have lots of work to do and lots of things to complete. So right now I'm not thinking about it. We'll think about it after I'm a little bit free, maybe in the month of March. But if you do want me to go and try it out, you can obviously let me know, and I'll be sure to get it as soon as possible and give you its review and whether it's worth it or not. Speaking of which, the new Star Wars High Republic game release and I saw that I was just checking Instagram the other day, and I just saw this post, and I was like, wow, they actually released something related to this. I mean, it was rumored to release, but I didn't expect them to actually release it, and I'm so happy. The High Republic will be limitedly largely to print stories for now, not the big budget Star Wars movie. It won't be the big budget Star Wars movie or a Disney Plus show. Thank God. They can make it into a game universe. I really would like to see this, because it's 200 years before Star Wars The Phantom Menace, where it was a golden age for the Jedi apparently. And when I saw the video, they said that a bunch of these writers got in and started to think about a new sort of direction that they could take, and it sounds amazing. The High Republic stories will see the Jedi Order and the Galactic Republic at the height of their powers. The Jedi of this era are better, and the Guardians of Peace and Justice in the Galaxy, they have new villains apparently, and it's not the first time the Star Wars franchise has tried to build out an interconnected story universe like this. That is true, because when you see a lot of shows, a lot of Disney Plus shows, a lot of movies, like they got Solo after the Skywalker saga. Okay, not technically after it, but in the midst, they put it in the midst of between 2 episodes. And they also got Rogue One. I mean, it was an amazing movie. Rogue One was truly an amazing movie. I loved Rogue One. I still have to see Solo. I don't want it to spoil my Skywalker saga, because I technically loved the episode 4, 5, 6. I'm sorry I didn't like the prequels, but it was just too much, green screen, especially in episode 2 and 3, which look it did look good, but from a person who takes takes a lot of details from VFX scenes, I did not like it because there were so many things that were mismatched in the scenes. So when it goes to scenes like that, I don't think I would like to see those kind of movies, especially in the movie Cats. Apparently I just saw the trailer and I was baffled to see what exactly it was. It was truly an horrifying experience. Don't go watch this movie. And when it comes to movies like Fast and Furious series, don't get me wrong, I do love the Fast and Furious series, but some scenes are just not real. When it comes to Hobbs and Shaw, there were so many scenes that did not make sense. Where was gravity? But ultimately it comes to the idea that movie series tend to get worse, a little bit worse, as time goes and as more movies come along, because you have less stories to tell. But according to Star Wars, according to Disney, I don't think so. Oh yeah, and right now I was talking about Disney, right? Bob Iger resigned, and Bob something, I don't know, Bob, some other Bob became the CEO when Bob Iger resigned, and he kind of stepped down. But everyone's happy. I mean, I just saw the IGN post where they talked about it, and then I saw the comments down, and they were like, oh, now we have to remove Kathleen Kennedy because everyone blames her for ruining the Star Wars series. Yeah, I think so. In the episode 7 and 9 were the best. Episode 8 was the worst. I'm not saying it is the worst because other people have said it. I truly found it horrible to watch it. I mean, sure, some scenes are really good. It's shot well. Rian Johnson tried to do a good job, but he could have done a really good job on the story and how it could have taken to episode 9, in Rise of Skywalker. He could have changed directions for Rise of Skywalker. It's not like Rise of Skywalker didn't have a satisfactory ending. It's just that I wanted to actually see if episode 8 was done right, what exactly would they take forward to episode 9. And when episode 9 released, people said, oh, it's like 2 movies or 2 parts combined together. They could have put the episode 8 in until Palpatine was discovered as Rey's granddaughter. Spoilers, but you could have actually done that. From episode 9, you could have added more details and more sort of stories and inside like flashbacks that showed how exactly Palpatine lived. I mean, sure, people have theories regarding it because Darth Plagueis the Wise taught him how to live, but they could have actually brought down the story as to how he lived after episode 6, because in episode 6 Darth Vader pushes him off, and you just see him he pushes him off to the Death Star core, and he just blasts. So we could have actually seen how exactly he lived and what exactly he did. And I honestly loved Kylo Ren in episode 7, 8, 9. He was my favorite. Adam Driver, shout out to his performance because he was absolutely amazing. He killed the performance of Kylo Ren. I did not like Rey as much as Kylo Ren because Rey was in that, have you seen Daisy Ridley in Jimmy Kimmel or anything? She just always goes, yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, that's the worst mimicry I've ever done. But Daisy Ridley, she just looks weird. Like her teeth are bigger than her face or something like that. It just gives you like a weird vibe when you're watching it, and yeah, it's just really weird. Now, this Star Wars franchise is going to be 5-part book, and it's going to be releasing in August 2020, and there's going to be 5 books, so I'm going to read all of them. I actually love reading. People don't realize that, and people don't believe me for that. Yes, I do read novels, guys. I've read The Shining, I've read It, I've read some Sherlock Holmes books, If you could suggest me more books, I could actually do a book review kind of a thing, because this is a shack and there's like books laying around, and it's like a tech shack. So shack usually has books laying around, they have games laying around, they have everything laying around. So I am gonna be doing everything you guys could ask. If it's related and it sounds interesting, I can actually do it and show you. The first book is actually called Light of the Jedi, and it's an adult novel. So we'll yet to be seeing what exactly will be happening. And now the Star Wars Force Awakens is also coming in 4K UHD. I am gonna wait for this because I did not buy the Blu-ray for Force Awakens, because I really knew that they'd release a 4K version of it and I'd buy it at that time. I do wanna buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. I want to skip 8. I don't care if I don't own the complete Skywalker saga, but I'm pretty sure I'll get 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 9. I do want a Rogue One, and yeah, that's all. Rogue One. Mandalorian also is coming. Season 2 is coming in October, and I've been waiting for Disney Plus to come to India. It's gonna come on March 29th, by the way, guys. So that's some sort of exciting news we can get right now. It's coming on March 29th, and I'm actually want to check Clone Wars and Mandalorian. I am not gonna pirate stuff. I told my friends that I would rather wait rather than pirating, because it's bad, guys. Piracy is bad. Know that it is an offense, so don't do that, and you can get into jail for that. All that stuff. So why just pay $500-600? That's like about like $8, $6, and just watch a movie. Don't buy the $1,000 max for like a movie. It's about $11. $11 own it on Blu-ray, that is. And if you have streaming services like Prime Video or Netflix, it's like a monthly fee. Like I don't use cable currently, but it is a monthly fee. So why wouldn't people actually pay for it? Is what my issue is. But that'll be another topic for another day. So guys, that's it for this episode, and I will be back soon. And goodbye, guys.